What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Crash Bandicoot. Welcome to another episode of Point and Laugh, the magic show where I make you a better deck builder and a worse person by means of negative analogy. This week, we've got an Omnath player who built a deck around their number of brain cells. After that, a Voltron player attempts to earn their first pair of wax wings. And finally, Captain Howler goes fishing for a win con. Thank you all for your time. For everybody who subscribes to this video, I will give my editor one bathroom break. Mango! Make it happen. So without further ado, we're going to open with Shade Jones's deck, which is listed as silly. 4 mana, 4 power, 4 toughness. This deck is basically Jin's Wet Dream, League of Legends mentioned. You f***ing okay. And it's the usual kind of mechanical shenanigans I build. Felt like I needed a redemption from the last one. So you looked in the mirror and said, how do I redeem myself in Maldhound's eyes? I know, I will play Omnath Landfall with a fucking mana erection at 4 mana instead of something that actually works. I hate you. I hate you from the depths of my chest. I need to redeem myself. What if I could prove that not only mankind did not deserve Magic the Gathering, but mankind did not deserve numbers? Bodies for hire. I refuse to believe that any of these cards mean a goddamn thing. Okay, we give Trample and Haste. This is straight up just a guy. How is this? Wait, how is this $3? So it can double its power for 4 mana. All right, that's the bit. My fault. My fault. My fault. I said 4 on it. That's my fucking bad. Okay, hold on. 4 mana, 4/4. Makes 2 1/1s instead of 4 1/1s or 4 4/4s. Shitty deck. Myriad Construct. Kick it for 3. Failure. Failure. 3 mana ability that gives +2/+0. Failure. I hope your parents don't love you. So it's just 4 mana, 4/4s. Okay. And then 4 mana spells. Is this, so this is just like the only 4 mana spells we could find that interacted with things? I feel like that can't be true. Isn't like Decimate 4 mana? Draw with a fucking Leet Speak. God. Okay, so any hand with 4 lands is keepable, right? Do we have... What's this Omnath even do? Draw a card on ETB whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. Gain 4. Second time, add 4. Third time, deal 4 to everybody. Oh, okay, Decimate is in here. We do have Sky Shroud Claim. More 4 mana fucking 4/4s. This is so bad. And I'm so afraid that it's still gonna look playable. Because nobody does anything the first 3 turns of Commander. This is like the most indefensible, shitty deck I have ever seen. And it's probably gonna work fine. Because there's no Finn the Fangbearer player. And they're just gonna let you land pass for 3 turns. And then start fucking, I don't know, 4-drop, 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 4-drop. Okay, so we have Duplication. We have fucking Bramble Sovereign. This is actually becoming, okay. As my brain is now beginning to swallow whole all of the like terrible decisions we have made, I think this is actually a really good case study on why I don't like strict mathematical gimmicks. Because this is funny. Yeah, doing this for the bit is tremendously hilarious. What I don't like is I think we go from being like, holy shit, that's such a stupid bit, to, oh, the deck just doesn't work, somewhere around Thunderbreak Regent. I like that everything costs 4. This is very similar to that one Planeswalker deck we looked at where they were like, oh, it's Prismatic Bridge, but it's fair because everything is just a creature that is a desparked Planeswalker, so they suck. And so it's like this funny bracket 1 deck. And then I was like, oh, this is great. Why does your mana base suck? And they were like, oh, I also did a bit where the lands had to tap for every color of mana or colorless. And I was like, oh, but that ruins the deck. Now it's just an art piece when it could be a playable art piece. And I think we've done the same thing with the 4 power 4 toughness restriction, where you have a fucking workable meme here. This is so stupid, but this commander is so good that you could probably like just pull through. Yeah, I value out 4 drops the whole goddamn time. We'll see how it works in the playtest. If it works in the playtest, I will retract this criticism. But as a person, I really don't like decks that are only funny. Where I don't like decks where the only bit is explaining them. I like it when there's a bit when you explain them, and then it's like, oh shit, this actually plays Magic. Okay, so can we keep, this is a 1-land hand? No. Free mulligan, down. We have 3 lands in hand, but we have a fetch land and Conduit of Worlds. I do not think it gets better than that, so I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to Mesa, or I guess I'd hold, yeah, we can hold that for now. I will play a shock land tapped. I will pass. I will play a basic land. I will pass. I will play a basic land. I will pass. I will play a basic land. I will play my commander. I draw a card. I discard a fetch land to hand size because I'm a fucking goober. I play Conduit of Worlds. I play the fetch land, so I gain 4 life. I fetch, oh god, I don't remember the name of any of the fucking triomes for these colors. We should have the triomes though, right? We should have like Ketria triumph, whatever, I'm getting a forest, fuck you. It's too late, fuck you. So we floated now 4 mana, and we can, why would we, what? We have fucking Shades, we're replaying the fetch every turn. What do you mean Vine Boom? Like, it's only in the bin because we can just play Conduit of Worlds and replay the fetch next fucking turn. Holy fucking shit. Okay. I hope you enjoyed your roast, Shades. Everybody boo this man. Talking about, I'm trying to be fucking generous with your joke-ass deck. Guess what, bitch? Your mana's fixed and nobody's interacting. You're a green player. I just said it now. It's retroactively true. I'm gonna use the floated mana for this, and I'm just gonna vomit fucking stuff onto the board. I don't know shit. I hold up Bolt Bend with this untapped mountain. We do this again. Now they're just all full. You know what? I fetch Flooded Grove with my fetch land. You bunch of fucking animals. So now we've floated 4 extra mana. Are any of these worth playing? No. Sulfina sucks. We can Swift Spiral Omnath. So we'll use 2 of the floated mana to do that. We will use like 2 more. Play the Wanderer because I'm a fucking hater. So we flicker this, we get to draw a card. See, Blessing of Frost would be good if any of our creatures weren't horrible. And I guess before end of turn, we'll try to lay this down just to have a creature. Next turn, fucking, I'll pay for Thunderbreak Regent with Thrawn Dynamo and a Plains, because fuck you all. I will replay Arid Mesa, fetching Windswept Heath. I will float 4 additional mana, and then we have, let's see, 2 actual snow mana to spend, and so we get to draw 3. Then we have Harmonize, draw 3. Holy shit, this is bad. Holy shit, this is... Alright, it's turn 7. We have 2 5/5s and a 4/4. How do you fetch a fetch land with a fetch land? By believing in yourself. I'm gonna call it chaotic, but I want you to understand that it is the inverse of chaotic. It is overtuned soap opera. So I'm gonna put it in chaotic because I think tuned is, there's too much of an implication that tuned is yes, good. And based on what you were saying in chat, you know what you've done. You know you've been a bad boy, and you know how good it could be, and I task you with making this deck what it deserves to be, which is, it's all 4-drops. Holy fuck, why are the 4-drops killing me? Because I like that bit. I hate Clay Golem. I love this bit. I fucking hate Moonveil Regent. Oh yeah, we can go, okay. You're over here. You've escaped. So currently, the deck is unplayable garbage. It's so funny, and then we tried to playtest it, and it was like, alright, turn 9, I have 2 5/5s, please don't hit me. So yes, you can make this goofy and dumb and beautiful, and please do that. What if it was either 4-drops or 4/4 bodies, like have A or B, not just restrict yourself to both? No, I think this curve is too funny. I think this curve is too fucking funny. The curve is just the Batman building. None of this would be possible without support from our highest tier Patreon members, so please join me and Little Nadu as we take a moment to thank Badger King, Sussedin, Christian B, Ryan A, Adam S, Solar Movie, Biggest Dickus, Kyle, Jess HW, Alpha Dog 2064, Crimson Viper, Zelenor, Otterfire, Dad Out for Milk, Kyler P, Bolus Brigade, Derek H, Phelan, B Leave, Dungeon Masters Consortium, Zach G, Bobby Joe Lord, Talamar Von Geist, Troper and their 37 different identities, Bradley T, Bo, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. Thank you all, and enjoy the video. Hi everybody, welcome to the Mango Money Moment, a new segment that exists only because YouTube has told us that if their automatic mid-roll placer doesn't believe that my video has enough dead air in it to constitute a transitional phase, they will not put monetized ads in the middle, which can really cut into the editor's leak budget. So we're gonna have these moments where we just stop and stare for a little bit. You know that moment when you buy a weapon and it comes with a child soldier? No. Or when the fighting begins, you call a friend to join the bloodbath. Okay, kind of. I've been to a fraternity party. Well, this deck tries to do just that by using equipment with Living Weapon or 4 Mirrodin, or any other equipment that makes tokens when they attack. To top it off, a couple of auras that stack with themselves to grow at exponential speed. If going wide with tokens is not working out, just transfer everything on the commander and remove a player with commander damage. Would love to have feedback to improve the early game. If I don't mulligan, be sure to have a body to equip enchant in the first turn. I fall behind pretty fast. Oh god, we're gonna look at, okay, gang, buckle up. This is gonna be Baby's first aggro list. Baby's first aggro Voltron list. No, and it's with the cool commander that's not good. First attempt at a deck that can go wide and can be Voltron at the same time. First fucking mistake. It's made with cards I had laying around. Second fucking mistake. So it's still work in progress. All feedback and suggestions are welcome. All right, for the first draft of this deck, all we're gonna look at is, holy shit, did Vaxrung get any sick pulls? If we're doing it with what they had laying around. All right, that's one sick pull. Not expensive, but good for the deck. Nice pull, bro. Oh shit, I also bought the Fallout set. Wait, yeah, hold on. What? Cards I had laying around? You lied, right? Hold on, you lied, right? You lied. Say you lied. Please? Please say you lied. Yeah, oh, please tell me you built the deck with proxies you had laying around. There has to be some card in here that's just like crazy art printing. Oh, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Our islands are $1,400. We have $1,400 basic lands. Same goes for the so whatever like art they picked for the basic lands, all of our lands cost nearly a band each. Real. All right, real. Okay. So what other sick pulls did you get? Hey, this is a cool card. I like Duskmorn. Pet card, I agree with these. This is a good pet. Rottenmouth is a good boy. He did nothing wrong. Free my guy. Those kids deserve to get eaten. Okay, so we have Living Weapon. So what is... Whenever a modified creature attacks, double the number of each kind of counter on it. Then for each non-token permanent attached to it, make a token that's a copy of that permanent attached to that creature. So the first problem we have is I don't think Living Weapon works as good as we want it to. 4 Mirrodin might work, or I guess actually no, this would work because you get the ETB, so you make the non-token thing attached to the first Living Weapon, but then you make a 0/0 and attach this to it on ETB. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this works. This is still not very, I still don't think this is very good. But I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you're not going to lose the Living Weapon tokens to state-based actions. Now, the problem that we have on top of that is now all of our Zanpakutos suck. So we have a +1/+1 Vigilance lifelink, Blade of Shared Souls. So we can this one's kind of clever. We can 4 Mirrodin and then copy other creatures we control. So if we had any other good creatures, this wouldn't be that bad. But Citizen's Crowbar is just like straight up awful. Stuff gets 1/1. Yeah, so there are a few that I could abide if it was like, this is Living Weapon and it's a really good equipment. Things are allowed to pull double duty if they're good at both jobs. If we do, this is pulling double duty, some of these say just like, oh, I put this in because it said token on it, and the equipment itself was really goddamn bad. Like fucking Drossclaw. We get to make a 1/1 that makes everybody lose 1 on attack in our fucking Voltron deck? We're trying to beat people to death with a 1/1 who drains 1. We gotta take that shit up with people who go 0/3 at pre-release, not with the commander players. This I kind of believe if we go wide with auras. This is another thing where I don't think we're gaining very much life when we go to combat. Equipped creature gets +X/+X, where X is the amount of life you gained, and everything's gonna be 0. I mean, we could maybe get stuff going with the food tokens if we want to like consistently tap out. Sure, so we gain 3, so we can give +3/+3. See, Nettle Cyst, this one, see, this is one of the ones where this shit is awesome. This shit is crazy awesome because it's a really good equipment that will stack with itself and it will make you a new creature every single time. That's dope. That's tremendously dope. So we can keep the things that are like this. We can, even Glimmer Lens, I would be inclined to keep just for the like pie in the sky dream of getting multiple copies of Glimmer Lens and then using that to make a card draw engine. Glyph Elemental, I almost believe in it. Not completely, just because I don't think you're actually going to get that many land drops, and so I think you're going to fall behind the power curve really, really quickly. Yeah, like Nazgul Battle Mace, this is super fucked up. Inquisitorial Rosette is like the most normal thing ever. Drawsclaw's terrible, as we've already covered. Crowbar you could kind of, I think it's on the bubble, but you can keep it because you get to tell Steve, the artifact player, to go fuck himself. Blade of Shared Souls I do not believe in unless we see a like crazy creature you can copy. Batterbones Dogass. Assimilation Aegis is evil. Oh, if copies can't flip, we cut this. Okay, then we cut this because they can't flip. But Assimilation Aegis, yeah, this is fucked up and mean. Oh, I love see, like, this is fucking awesome. This is goddamn awesome. Okay, so the situation we're in right now is we have a decent number of artifacts that are absolutely dog shit insanity to be allowed to clone. And then we have a bunch of artifacts that are not, that we just found in an old pre-release pack. I think a lot of our auras are like this. This is fucking abominable. Good aura, but requiring another aura to already be attached in what is already one of the most like frail strategies possible. Cartouche fine, has ETB, is gonna give evasion. This is like, this could get pretty crazy, but I like things like All Light Glitters more. And what I am worried about, oh, we are multi-tagging. So let me go away from the multi-tags for a second. We've used up all of our gimmick slots just on all of the different artifacts or enchantments. And then we're still using gimmick slots with our creatures. When I talk about gimmick slots, you have 30 to 40 cards where you are allowed to choose what they are. In the average commander deck, if you're building a good commander deck, you have between 35 and 40 lands, you have between 30 and 40 cards that are dedicated to your gimmick, and then the remainder of your deck should be like unconditional, this card is good. Hopefully it is still related to your gimmick, but it has to be something that like draws you cards, makes you mana, your artifact ramp, your unconditional card draw spells, of which we have fucking not one, and then our interaction. So we've gone incredibly light on interaction, which if we look at the interaction slide, if you don't want to have a lot of interaction, you need to be a big fucking problem almost immediately. The premise of your deck is definitely over here, and so I'm gonna need 20 copies of Infernal Grasp fucking stat. And so the direction, like you're playing Fashion Souls, if we're being totally real. If I'm being totally honest with you, this deck is playing Monster Hunter, and this is Olivia sending you out on a mission, and you're just walking around the fucking commander table going, holy shit, do I have this shit on? When what you should be doing is we want to pick a tight-knit group. Nope, not maybe the reality chip because it's decent. Stop, we cannot fall into the trap of this thing kind of works with the commander, therefore we put it in. What you need to do is you want to identify 30 to 40 cards that are absolute fucking heat with the commander, put those in, and then you can begin debating what swaps to make. But the ways you get decks like this is we had a couple pretty good cards. Ocelot Pride is just like, holy fuck, that's a good card if I'm ever making tokens. There's Stoneforge Mystic, holy fuck, that's a good card for Voltroning. And then we just kept going like, oh, this is also good and can be an aura. Oh, this is also good and can be equipped. Whereas we were not biased enough. We did not persecute people enough. So let's go through and figure out which ones are absolute heat. I think first and foremost, you want to lean towards artifacts or lean towards auras. If you try to do like equal double dipping, you're going to be really, really disappointed. And one thing that concerns me about your curve is I know immediately that you have no top end. We have 2 6-drops in the entire deck. One of them is Rottenmouth Viper, who will kill people about as fast as Old Age, and the other is Ormos, who is only a defense against decking out, and as I guess like kind of a late game card draw engine, because you can discard 3, draw 5. But as far as like big explosive top end plays go, that's not going to cut it when the Mirim player is spending 12 mana to make 18 dragons that all want to eat Uranus. And so when you want to cut away like 20 cards in a deck, I do love Ormos Sucks and Ormos Deck Perfect being just the fucking 1-2 punch of my chat attempting to identify how good a commander card is. So when we need to do a lot of cuts like this, what we want to do is trim away everything that is a second order synergy, because right now this deck is lost in the sauce. So let's go to the playtest. So turn 1, we get the Ocelot Pride. Not nothing. Turn 2, we get the Dowsing Dagger. So we give somebody 2 0/2 plant tokens. We hit someone who's open. Turn 2, somebody's probably neglected to play a blocker. We get a 1/1 cat. Turn 3. Ugh, we can't afford Eidolon yet. Nope, not a token copy. What's your equipment side? +2/+0 in vigilance, but we also don't have mana to spend that. So turn 3, if I'm being exceedingly generous, I will equip this to Ocelot Pride and pretend that you have an open swing. So we get to flip Lost Veil, which is pretty fucking good. And then main phase 2, we probably bestow Ocelot Pride. Make another 1/1 cat token. So now we can play Arna Kennerud. We play Arna, we swing Ocelot Pride, and what's going to end up happening is, okay, so Halvar is going to end up pretty important. Because what's going to end up happening is we copy this when the modified creature attacks, but we don't have any counters. So now we have some like super fucking big cat. It's going to make at end step a token copy of this and a cat creature token. Oh, and a second cat, because it's going to make a 1/1. See, we have the City's Blessing. Give us a token of all the tokens we made, which includes this fucked up self stacker and this big cat. And then next turn, nope, we should have cut the creatures. I don't give a fuck what this man does. It says energy. He's bad. He's bad and I hate him. I'm going to move chat down so we can see how bad and hateful he is. Will the commander specifies attached to that creature? So I'm going to think it comes in bestowed. So turn 5 we do Halvar, and then we can equip the Eidolon to our commander. And then fucking all hell breaks loose, I think, at this point. Because at this point, we just copy this thing and this thing. So we have 5 copies of this. We have 5 enchantments, which is going to give the enchanted creature +10. We have lethal. This is already lethal commander damage. So things that didn't matter. I think that this like 4 mana aura token maker, I think this is probably win more. I'm inclined to agree with what chat was saying earlier and with what you said in your primer, which is that like we have to be set up by the time Arna is coming down. Playing things that are going to begin setting up the board right before Arna comes down are not good enough. We have to have creature in play. Oh, Arna copies non-token. Okay, so we don't copy the Arna one, so we don't go immediately lethal. I play Arna, the bestows do not come in attached to anything. Why not? Oh, bestow only works on the stack. Okay, so we get these creatures, and then instead of having an impossibly big Ocelot Pride, we just have big Eidolons. I think that's still okay. We don't get lethal as quickly, but again, if we don't get interacted with, this is also fine. With how fast your board is building up, I am less and less on anything that is life gain. Like, I think in this particular hand, I'm also less on things like Nazgul Battle Mace unless we are free equipping. Having an equipment that we might want to play instead of our commander seems highly deleterious, and also Annihilator is the sleeper agent activation phrase to make everyone at the LGS hate you forever and want you dead. So Vaxrung, I'm going to say this is greedy mechanic. Part of that is via necessity, because you built it out of your collection. I think this worked out relatively playable for something that you built out of your collection, but I think it's desperately suffering from the vain belief that no one's ever going to try and kill you. And I think we have too many things that are just and we need to be a lot pickier about what we're doing on turns 1 through 3. All right, this is spooky, scary. Wrote it up on Moxfield, but in a nutshell, I want to wheel and swing with a big shark or his crew. Ooh. Oh, I wish this deck was good. I wish this deck was gonna be good because he's so cool. But I've seen Into the Hearts of Men, and I know that this deck is gonna suck ass. But 420 Weed Number, I salute you for trying. So we have Captain Howler, who has Ward 2, Pay 2, and whenever you discard one or more cards, you give a target creature +2/+0 until end of turn for each discarded card, and whenever that player deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw 1 card. So immediately what people thought of is, what if I wheeled my hand to give something +14/+0 and then draw 1 card? What works really, really well with Captain Howler is discard outlets that let you discard things one at a time, because then you can stack this ability multiple times, which actually let you redraw your entire hand. Wheels, I think, just gives you like 1 extra card on top of the wheel, but you chunk for huge damage. So we have Extermination. Immediately you've misunderstood the assignment. Okay, maybe not. I like Chandra's Ignition. Channeled Force is clever. Psych Rift is blue. Fateful Showdown seems insane. There's no way we're drawing enough cards for this to be worth a goddamn. Sure. Is it Charm? Says is it? We've misunderstood the core assignment. I'm okay with Prismari Command. When I say you've misunderstood the assignment, you don't want to be board wiping. Despite how Captain Howler looks, you are not cool. You are not the big scary guy who's trying to make the board totally empty so that you can then do, big comic book arm swinging as you wheel and then punch for $1 billion. If you are playing Captain Howler, you are a fucking parasite. What you want to do is have instant speed wheels to turn your opponent's swings into accidental manslaughter. This one is going to be hard to playtest, because when we go into the playtest, I'm telling you right now, it's going to look like it works, because we're going to be like, oh, maybe I'd have it swing turn 5. I've watched my friends play Captain Howler. No, the fuck you do not. More teeth, because we're pulling teeth when we discard. Profs is... Okay, so Profs works with the way you've built the deck, but you have built it wrong and bad. We also see Riel, who is single-handedly holding down every fucking Is-It deck that discards. I think this is just like Secret Commander at this point. Never Let Go. Yeah, Bag of Holding is clever. Shut the fuck up, man. Your cards are not that good. None of your cards are worth 6 mana, other than the Locust God, who's literally 6 mana. This is another reason why you play discard outlets instead of sorcery speed wheels, so that you can just keep the cards that are worth playing. Okay, on attack, we have a 2/2. No, man. He's gonna die. It's gonna be turn 3. You're gonna swing this guy, discard 1 time, and then he's gonna get beaten to death by an elk. You're telling me you're gonna use this effect on turn 5? You like your cards too much. That's just a second version of you misunderstanding the assignment to hit the tower. If you want to play Is It Wheels, you got to actually let go. You can't be on this like, hold on. What if I played dog shit to get around the earlier dog shit that I did? 2 wrongs do not make a right, and 2 bad cards do not make a functional deck. I like the unblockability. I feel like we could do better with unblockability than a Planeswalker, because what's going to happen is as soon as you swing out, everyone's just going to punch Kaito in the chest, versus if you had like, we don't want Silver Shroud costume. I mean, fuck, even just like winged boots, even just like flying would be good. Oh yeah, Key to the City. Let's get into the business of fixing you, and first and foremost, give you Key to the City. This is just better than Kaito. It's going to be harder to remove. It's going to give you the same type of card selection. It just smacks. We can think about Aqueous Form, but more important than Aqueous Form, I want to go to the playtest and break down why I think this shit sucks. So we have Careful Study, which is completely fucking dead until we play our commander. Oh good, we have Past in Flames to get back all of the shitty things we wheel. We're going to Thrill of Possibility. Fuck this card. I'm going to Scalding Tarn. I play Crucible of Worlds. I'm going to fetch Otawara, Scalding Tarn. So now it's turn 4. We have Captain Howler. The way the deck is currently set up, because we have not set up a discard outlet, we do all of this, then we pass. We have not yet influenced the board state. We have never held up interaction. We have not caused any problems or set up anything particularly crazy. The craziest thing we have set up is, holy shit, I get to replay Scalding Tarn, which I will fetch Terramorphic Expanse with Scalding Tarn. Now, I can play FOMO, which will discard a card, then draw a card. I will discard the Siobhan Reef. Howler is going to get the +2/+0. We swing, and I'm just saying, my experience, we probably don't have a free swing. We can assume that we do for the purposes of this playtest, and we get to draw one additional card. Next turn, discard is good as fuck. Discard's good as fuck, so we like it. We replay Scalding Tarn. I will use Scalding Tarn to fetch this island. And now we probably do like Monument to Endurance. We don't have any of our wheels. So we've tapped 3. I just ramp and hold up Untimely Malfunction. But this is really, really underwhelming because we don't have a way to discard on demand to trigger Howler. We don't really have a big wheel yet, even though with this hand we would fucking accept it because our hand's not very good. Next turn, there we go. Now we have a discard outlet. So we get this guy, we replay Scalding Tarn again. I fetch this legendary mountain, which is definitely a mountain. And now we swing this guy. Holy fuck, we're off to the races. I'm gonna discard this land. I get to draw 2 because of Teferi's Ageless Insight. I give him +2/+0. I draw an extra card off a Monument to Endurance. I do it again. I discard this land. I get to draw 2 extra cards. This guy's a 6/4 now. I make a treasure token. I do it one more time. He's an 8/4. I've drawn a fuckload. If he connects, I get to draw like, oh yeah, I get to draw another extra card from Monument because of Teferi's. If he connects, I draw like 8 more cards. We're happy as shit. What made this possible was not wheels. What made this possible was having a discard outlet and a way to break parity. Those are the setup pieces that matter. And what I want to put you on, and it's also turn 7, we have threatened nobody with lethal commander damage, and even in our hand, okay, we've gotten to the one piece of interaction we have for when the dinosaur player tries to kill us. So what I want to put you on is this world, where we may discard a card as a free action whenever the fuck we want. And rather than worrying about, okay, how do I make my creature a 16 whatever every single turn, you just got to play quietly. And anytime somebody else swings and you think it's gonna get through, you activate this. We're going to put you on, yeah, this is definitely greedy mechanic. It's not necessarily greedy on the curve, but it is incredibly greedy in the context of you're just so unwilling to ever let one of your cards just be in the graveyard that I think it's fucking up everything you're doing.